Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Fast Frame. It's the place to go for speedy, quality framing in Knoxville. Whether you're creating a theme room where everything shares a color scheme or a common look, or if you just have random memorabilia for movies, music, sports, or if you got valuable art collection, Fast Frame can do it all. In the words of our president, believe me, they can do it. They are fantastic. Trust Fast Frame. Okay. I swear to you, I was actually going to do this weekend. And then I saw on Twitter that Joel Hollingsworth of GameDayOnRockyTop.com had already done it and put it up on Twitter. So I'm giving you a free plug, Mr. Hollingsworth, and GameDayOnRockyTop.com. Excellent work. It saved me hours. What we're going to show you, let's go over to the big board. What you see there, a projected depth chart. And to promote Mr. Mike Griffith down here, that is your post-spring projection from SECCountry.com. What you see there are your offense on the left, defense on the right. That's projected 2 deep. And you see their star rankings according to 24/7 Sports when they came out of high school. I think the first thing that stands out here, guys, there are a lot more 4s on the defensive side of the football than there are on the offensive side of the football. Now, to put that in perspective, you got guys in the NFL who were 2 stars or weren't even recruited. So it happens. I mean, I saw this week Julian Edelman was a 2-star coming out of high school, got no offers. So, I mean, it happens. You can get some guys in there. But based on what they recruited, more 4s on the defense than on the offense. That stood out to me. Anything up there surprise you guys when you look at those numbers?
I think the biggest surprise to me is the number of 4 stars that you see on the defense. I didn't realize that they had recruited the defensive side of the ball quite that well. Now, doesn't mean they're all going to play, doesn't mean they're all going to live up to it, but that is a lot of, you know, when everybody, some people criticize, oh, it's 3-star you. Well, no, not according to that, it didn't.
Right.
What surprises me are the number of 4 stars that haven't played like 4 stars.
That's a great point, Jimmy.
That's what gets me.
And some of that's by injury. You look at the
5 stars.
defensive line, a lot of those guys are by injury, but elsewhere, it's just they haven't played up to it.
Before being injured, McKenzie wasn't playing like a 5-star.
Right. Now,
So
he's been the biggest bust. I agree, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's a concern, and so let's define it. So right now, if you're a 5-star, it means you're projected as a first-round pick, right? If you're a 4-star, you're projected to be drafted between rounds 2 and 4.
Right.
How many people on that board do you see being drafted between rounds 2 and 4 that are 4-star?
And then again, you also have guys who haven't gotten a shot yet. And that goes back to what we talked about in that first segment. Maybe you're going to have some guys that pop up and it's like, wow, there he is.
So Batuli hadn't played enough to really make a judgment.
Maybe.
Obviously, Trey Smith is not. He may end up being a tremendous player.
Yeah.
But I just think there are too many on that board that have not played to their star
Yeah,
level.
somebody like Justin Martin, a cornerback, it's his last chance. Can this be the year that he shines because he looked the part showing up, but he's been way too inconsistent. They need him to emerge. That defensive line for sure, that 2015 class, it's their time. That's McKenzie, Kyle Phillips, Darrell Taylor, Shai Tuttle. They all came in that same class.
It's funny, you look at that secondary, if we can go back to the board, over on the far right side is the defensive side down there toward the bottom. You look at the corners versus the safeties. I feel so good about those safeties. The safety depth and the safety situation, I think, is going to be strong. I just question marks around the cornerbacks.
Yeah, you know, I think there's more accountability now too. I mean, we've talked earlier in the show about Rock Gullickson and about some of these position coaches, proven commodities, whether it was Rock in his 17 years in the NFL or Brady Hoke in his development or Bob Shoop and the success he's enjoyed elsewhere and certainly Tennessee's facilities. I mean, there's no reason why now these players shouldn't be successful. They've got everything around them. They've got proven position coaches. They've got facilities, and they've got an elite strength coach. I think Team 121 will be held very accountable for themselves, maybe more so than in the past when we had some questions about the staff or the strength and conditioning staff.
Anything else stand out about the offense?
You know, what's funny, I would have thought that they had recruited, well, I wasn't going to go to the receiver. I thought they had recruited better at receiver, but you look what you have lost that you had brought in and has gone away.
Yeah, Preston Williams was 5-star.
Yeah.
Now, who knows if he'll develop where he went, but we'll see. The offensive line, everyone's counting on the offensive line because of the experience in their back, but a lot of 3-stars along that offensive line. Again, there are a lot of 3-stars that make it in the NFL.
Right.
So these guys may all wind up in the league. But on paper, that isn't necessarily your most talented group, at least not coming out of high school. It'll be interesting to see what Walt Wells does with them, and once they've got some meat on their bones, thanks to Mr. Gullickson.
Yeah, Ja'Shawn Robertson, he's one of the 3-stars, and he's their highest listed position player on the All-SEC teams right now.
All right, guys, very good. When we come back, As I mentioned before, Lane Kiffin and Derek Dooley getting mentioned for the Ole Miss job. There's also a name being kicked around, Chip Kelly. You better get used to hearing it because you're going to hear it in Knoxville, probably going to hear it in College Station, they're probably going to hear it in Los Angeles. He's the great white whale this season. We'll discuss. Come on back.